Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me for another practice of our Chen style Lao Jia Yi Lu. Let's take right hand in fist, please, left hand straight, pulling back the thumb with feet together, hands together, and let's press forwards. Excellent. And relax down. Let's just do a few little rotations to get us started. As you can probably hear, I've got a bit of a cold. Um, so I might take this class a little bit gently, but I'd like to get you through to the end of the form. Last week we had left it with really just one step, well, one little sequence to go. So gently warming. Good, let's change direction. Breathe. And just check in with your body today. How do you feel? Good, let's bring the arms up. We're going to draw in and release. And let's go to the side. And the same side again. And then the other side. Good, so a little double bounce to each side. Good. Keeping the knees pointing forwards. Let's do one at a time. Left and right. Good. Let's add a little step. So we're going to step with one foot and bring the other behind. And draw in. Good, release. Let's come back to center and do a little swing and a bounce. Keep going, please. I'll see if I can stop that reflection. That better? Yeah, okay. Good. And change direction. Natural light. It's like not working with children or animals. Working with natural light is something else. Let's circle the shoulders, please. Keep going. Sorry. Good. And change direction. It's always interesting to discover those crunches and crackles, isn't it? One at a time. And change. Good, let's come back to center. Breathe in, lift. And let go. And again. One more time. Lengthening up through the top of the head. Let's gently roll. Half circle from ear to ear. Good. Now let's come back to center and draw a little circle with your nose. Breathe. Let the circle get a little bit bigger. Spiral it out. Changing direction. This is not the official Chen style head circling, but it's a nice wee one. And let's bring it back into a smaller circle. And stand. I'd like you to lengthen up, please, through the top of your head, the chin slightly down and back. I'm going to put on an extra wee light here. Hopefully, yeah. There we go. Excuse me. Relaxing down through your body. Oh, sorry. Very human today. Okay. Releasing, relaxing gently down. Good. Okay. So I'd like to do a little bit of leg work. The first movement in that last little section is a kick. So I want your legs to be nice and happy. Let's take a 3/4 step forwards. And we're going to pump forwards and back on the legs. Good. We're not going to do the forward bend today, partly to save my nose from running. So instead, we're going to take the same side hand to front leg, the other hand to hip, and just gently encourage the hip down and forwards. If you want more of a stretch, you can go a bit further forwards and continue. Should get a nice stretch across the front of the hip. You can lengthen your stance if you need to. Lift the back heel and release. Relax down further. Good, let's point the fingers to the floor and lift. Up, up, up. Gently arc back. Good, and swing the arms out to the sides to bring you straight and walk your feet in. Lovely, let's do the same to the other side. So the other foot in front. And first of all, we just pump forwards and back. Circling the arms. Good, let's take same side. Hand to leg, the other hand to the hip. Encourage the hip to square. Lengthen your stance a little bit if you need to. Encourage the hip down. See what we're doing? We're keeping those hips square. So you should feel a nice stretch. I really want to get more of a stretch on this right hip. It gets a bit tight from driving. Good. And we're going to lift the back heel, push it out, sink down. And let's point to the floor and lift up. Lengthening through the body, gently arc back. Good, and throw your arms out to the sides. Walking in. Lovely. To continue getting those legs ready for kicks, I'd like you to take your weight onto one side with the foot slightly turned out. Use your arms for balance, and we're going to swing. Notice I'm keeping my knee slightly bent. So not like ballet. We want to use this Tai Chi principle of always with a slight bend. Good, let's change and swing. Breathe. Good, and rest. Let's continue to work on our hips. We're going to do a little roundhouse, so we go across, lift, and round, and 3 steps. And you can use your arms in guard position or just keep them engaged in front of your chest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter how high you go, but try to get your full range. You can build up to it. The 3 steps help you to balance. Good, now we're going to do the opposite. So we were going, what were we doing? In to out. So now we're going to go out to in. Excuse me a wee sec. Sorry. Catch your breath. If you see me coming to the side, that's a good opportunity for you to have a wee drink. Ready? We're going to go out to in. So again, keep your guard position up. Out, bring it across 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Out, in. 1, 2, 3. Out, in. You'll notice that it makes you want to pivot on your supporting foot. So do that. Engaging your hands really helps. Just having them, they don't have to be in fists, but just having them involved rather than just hanging. Good, well done. All right, and rest. Good, just have a little shake out. We're not going to do standing practice because it would be me ducking out every few seconds to blow my nose. Sorry, but we'll do a few seconds just to calm ourselves. Really, standing practice is core to all our Tai Chi practice. So when we leave it out, you know, it's like half-baked. So even when we don't do a full stand, just give it a nod, give it a wee moment. It's really the set-up position for any form. We lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back, breathe, calm and relax down. Listening behind. Let's press the fingers down. Release, belly, hips, knees, open to your left and take your weight across. So check that the feet are level. Even and especially if you're only doing a few seconds, do your best few seconds that you can, checking posture, releasing, and floating the hands forwards. Feel for connection and float up. Just for a few moments, allow yourself to float and release in good posture. Beautiful, well done, relax down, float up, fill right, close left. Very good. So actually, for health point of view, standing is brilliant. It can really help just calm your system and help the energy lines to open, help everything to release. So actually, you know, for my own practice, I realized there as I stood, even for those few seconds, actually, this is what I need to do. This is going to help me. So, excuse me, this weekend is a training weekend in Donegal. Hopefully I will be better enough to go, and we probably will do a stand at the beginning of every class. So 20 minutes, maybe even once through 45 minutes. And it seems like punishment at first, but actually, once you let go and allow yourself to be present, it's very, very beneficial. It's very good. Okay, so let us move on now, and we're going to look at the end of the form. We're going to do that first while we're fresh. And then if we have time at the end of class, we'll go through the whole form and put it all in context. So if you remember last week, we did the piercing up and the pushing apart. I think we only really touched on that before the kick. So it was wrapping fists. Let me just remind you, let me show you the moves, and then we'll put it together. So we had the wrapping fists. And last week, you remember the pouring down, rolling up and expanding, stepping back, turning to the front and filling this yang position, filling the hands, and then the right hand piercing up and the left hand pressing down and turning to the back. Okay, I'm not sure if we put a lot of emphasis on that bit. So what we're looking at today, we'll maybe look at the turn again in more detail. What we're looking at today is the kick. Yeah, so you can see, and feeding across, turning in, your circle kick, stepping back, drawing back, making fists and throwing it out, and then Jinggang exits the temple that you already know. That move again, filling the hands, floating up, relaxing down, sealing the energy in at the base of the body, pointing to the floor, rising up, filling right, and closing left. Good. All right. So the way I have just shown it to you there, folks, is how we do it, excuse me, how we do it in the form. So if you remember, there's this anomaly that we have in Lao Jia Yilu, where we start the form facing the front, but we finish the form facing the back. And don't ask me why. A lot of people ask me why. It could be possibly because the cannon fist, the second of the Lao Jia practices, Lao Jia Arlu, second form, it also starts facing the front and finishes facing the back. So if you think about that, if you were to put the two forms together seamlessly, you would start facing the front, finish facing the back, and if you don't turn around, that's your new front. So you start facing the back and finish facing the front. So you can do the two forms together and get like this uber form, get this massive, big, long form, which is like 75 steps plus about 35. Cannon fist is a little bit shorter. So that's maybe why. Regardless, today, for the purposes of you being able to follow, we're going to turn it all the way around so you're facing the front again. So if you remember last week, as I say, we had our fists. If you do this with me, please stand on your left and you're facing same side as me. We're all doing the same thing. Your right hand is on the outside. You're going to open the hands, pour down, roll around, and step back. And as you step back, you think of filling your back. We turn to the front, pivoting on the ball of the foot, releasing the left foot, and think release, shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips, and we wait until the hands are full. Now we kind of fold like an umbrella. You're going to push your left heel back, and as you do, you're bringing your hands in with the right hand on top, and the right hand pierces up, fingers pointing up, your left palm turning down, pressing down, so you're separating, and you keep turning as you pass your nose, or just underneath your nose, your palms start to turn out. And now both palms are facing out. You've got this yin-yang S shape going on with your hands. Now, okay, so you're facing the back at this stage. So yeah, if you just want to watch for a moment, but you can go right the way down if you want to as you turn. So again, just watch me do this. It's always very difficult when you're teaching a turn, even face to face. As soon as you start teaching it, people are facing away from you. Excuse me a sec. And we'll be keeping the tissue industry in business. Okay, so you have done your release and you're turning, heel pushing out, feeding the weight back, piercing up with the right, turning down with the left, and you keep turning and sinking down. So you have this yin-yang S shape and you're facing the back. Yeah. So maybe for learning purposes, we'll leave out the turn for a second and just look at the arms, shall we? Because I know it's really difficult to keep an eye on me when you're facing the other direction. So let's just focus on the arms. So we're going to expand. And remember, we just want to feel full in the hands. We fold in like an umbrella, the right hand coming on top, your right hand coming on top. Shall I mirror it? Okay. And the right hand is piercing up and the left hand is turning down. And you're separating the two. When you get to level with just underneath your nose, that's when your palms start to turn out. And you have this yin-yang shape. So your right hand is coming forwards and up, and your left hand is gently going back and down. So if you saw that from the side, you can see that the arm is as close as going behind you as you ever get in Tai Chi. It's billowing back. Very good. And relax for a wee second. Shake out. So, Chen Yinjun says, never compare moves. I can't help it, master. Sorry, I can't help but compare moves. That movement with the back hand, that'll actually be your left hand, yeah, it's very, very similar to the step back repulse monkey position. Sorry, the step back twist upper arm position. So when you're doing your step back, remember, you go through this moment where you're here. It's this feeling of, do it with me, please. Both hands press out. You're kind of rotating your thumb, pressing your thumb edge out. So you're not doing anything with your thumb itself, but just like this. Good. Relax for a sec. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh dear. So, like so. You know those old-fashioned hanging chairs, the ones, the 1960s looking ones, the sort of egg chair? You know what I'm talking about? It looked like a big egg hanging, and it had a hole in it, and you could sit in it. So it had this rounded back. I think of that chair when I do this move. So if you press the heels of your hands out into the roundness of the chair, that is a yang position. So that's sending your energy out. The top hand is also yang. It's yang, yang. Everything's yang, but one is up, one is down. So there's your balance. Good. So as you can see, it is almost, it's not behind you like this, but it's kind of pressing into the back corner. And both hands, the heels of the hands are pressing out, and it's a full-on twist. Okay, so that's your preparation for kick. So let's do it again. We'll go from here, expand, and come back in. Your right hand coming on top, right hand piercing up, left palm turning down. As you come to level with your nose, you turn the palms out. Good. And you have this S shape. Good. So your next movement, you're going to kick and you're going to fling that backhand up. Relax and watch me do it, please. So I'm doing it, I'm not mirroring. Here, turn, pierce, press down, keep turning, sinking down, kick, and step. So from pressing out, you're turning the palm up. This hand doesn't do much at all. It just stays there pretty much as you kick. So what we're going to do, we'll practice the turn into that yin-yang S shape. And then in order for you to see what we're doing, we're going to turn the kick 180 degrees. It sounds difficult. It's not really too bad. Excuse me. If you remember, you always keep your structure and move the whole lot together from your center. It's kind of like getting a chess piece and turning it. If you try and turn all the individual bits, you'll be in trouble. If you just kick and let everything move together, it's easy. So do it with me. We'll do the turn to the back this time. Ready? Standing on the right. So right hand on top, push the heel out, right hand pierces up, left palm down, keep turning on the heel and feed the weight forwards onto the front foot, sink down. So the arms are in an S shape. Very good. Okay, and relax. So let's turn to the front and we'll do that. We'll just get into that position and we'll practice the kick. Let's practice the kick as we do in the form, just so that you're aware of it, because it's easier than the kick I'm about to get you to do to face me again. So we'll just practice as we would in the form, but now this is your back. Okay, this is the back view. All right, so we sink down. There you are in your S shape. You're going to turn your left palm to face up as you kick and step down. And that's all it is. And remember, when you kick with a slightly bent leg. It's like this. It's not out there like that. Okay, so let's try it again. We're here. Right, left palm turns up, kick and step. Easy peasy. And again, kick and step. And again, kick and step. Very good. Okay, so that's actually what you do in the form. No problem at all. The only thing is, if we do that, you'll be facing away from me for the rest of the form. So what we're going to do is turn the kick. All right. Now, earlier we did a bit of swinging kicks for warm-up, and we did some roundhouse movements, out and in. When we try to turn, or when we go to turn, you're not doing that in your hip, but you're giving the motion from your center. So if you watch from here, you see from here, you're going to just swing with the intention of bringing it in and put the foot down. So you're not actually bringing the leg across, but it's a similar momentum. You're just turning your center. Remember, all movement in Tai Chi comes from here, not here, not your knees, not your ankles. So you swing the leg up and you just give it a little tug from here and let the leg be a weight to help you round it. Actually, it's easier than you might think. So let's give it a go. Just for now, to help you see me at the same time, we're going to turn it again, a quarter turn. So we're going to start facing your left, and finish facing your right. This is not what we're doing in the form, but it means you can have a sneaky peek at me at any stage. Okay, so we're going to sink down, standing on the right, pressing the hands out, swinging your left side, arm and leg up, turning your left palm up, and do a half turn and put the foot down. Good. How did that go? Now, it doesn't have to be high. If you watch, that's fine. Okay, it doesn't have to be high. However, I find if you give it a decent swing and keep your structure, it may make it a little bit easier. Don't over-egg it, don't give it too much energy. Actually, often that's the problem with people when they're trying to turn. They're giving it too much energy, and then they're having to use an awful lot of brake horsepower. You know, they're having to really put on the brakes to stop themselves overturning. So nice and relaxed, just kick it up with the intention, let yourself turn halfway. So your left side is kicking up, and you're going to turn with your right shoulder coming back. Let's try it again. So you're here, kick up, turn, put the foot down. Good. Yes, nice. And again. Ready, kick, step. Don't even think about it, just with the intent of half a turn and you're there. One more time. So you're in your S shape, kick it up, put it down. Beautiful, well done. Okay, so that's how we are dealing with the challenge of the end of the form. We're going to turn it to the front. Excuse me. This is an adaptation really for the purposes of learning via live feed like this or video. So let's have a look at it. We're going to expand, we're going to pierce and split, we're going to kick and turn halfway. All right, so let's do it together. Ready? We're standing on the right. Release. And right hand pierces up. Turn. Sink down. Kick your left foot and put it down. Good. Now, feed your weight forwards. And this is a kind of squaring up. Remember, when you travel, you never turn, but you allow your body naturally kind of squares. So our feet are on the diagonal, so you will become square to the diagonal. So from your kick, you put your foot down, we feed the weight across and bring the arms over to the right. So let me show you, facing you, so that you can see what I just did. So I was here, I've done my kick, and as I feed the weight forwards, I just bring my hands over. So they're doing a little up and over. Let me show you from another angle. You're here, from the kick to here. And you can see that's a setup for another kick, can't you? So you've done your kick, up, down, feed the weight forwards, hands come over. So they're just literally doing a little double rainbow. Okay, so let's try it. We've done our kick, we step, feed the weight forwards, and the arms come over. All right, so now your weight is on your front leg, and your body is neutral, facing the corner. Now we're going to think of turning in the quad. We're turning our belly into the front hip, but we're not turning the hips. You see what I mean? Think of that egg rolling in the egg cup. So we're turning into the hip, leaving the bones in place. You're turning your quad, you're turning your dandian, your ball inside your hips. And that winds you up ready for your roundhouse kick. So we bring the right foot across and out and step down. Okay, so you heard the thump thump. Yes. So you have stepped, after your kick, you come up and over. There's your preparation. So I had, showed you with hands down, but actually I want you to turn them a little bit because you have two surfaces. You're going to bring the back foot forwards and then it's coming back and it's kicking the first one, kicking the second one and relaxing down. Don't expect you to do it at that speed. So it's, yeah, from here. Okay, so you're hitting and then hitting. Both hands facing in the same direction. Yeah, they're here. So the foot or knee, whatever you can manage, is hitting both surfaces. Now, I've heard one master saying one hand on top and the other to the side, but that wasn't our branch of the Chen family. We're told both to the side. Okay, so let's do that again. I'll double check that in training at the weekend, but I'm pretty sure they said both to the side. You get a better impact with the side. If you're just going on top, it's skimming, it's wishy-washy. With the side, you get a good thump, a good impact. All right, I like a good impact. Okay, so let's try it again. We're gonna kick and step. Feed the weight forwards, the arms come over the little double rainbow. The palms are all set up, ready. We're turning into the front hip without turning the hips themselves and kick. Good. Okay. All right. So we're going to step it down and we step it back down the way we came. So let's do it again. We've done our kick and step down. Feed the weight forwards. Hands circle over. Turning into the front hip. Kick. And step back the way you came. Good. Should we do that again? So you have done your kick, left, and step. We go over the rainbow, feeding the weight left, screwing into the left hip, but leave the bones where they are. Do your kick, and step back. One more time. Ready? So we've done our kick and step, up and over, into the left, kick, step back. Good. Now feed the weight back and bring the arms back. So it's a little bit like Lou, but this time we just make fists. Just make fists. So we're bringing it back nice and relaxed and make fists. And you're going to turn a little bit to your right as you lift the fists up. So far this is quite symmetrical, but then it becomes asymmetrical as you feed your weight forwards. You're just throwing the arms out, but you're keeping the curve. So if I were to bend forwards, do you see the position? The left hand is on the outside of the curve. The right hand is on the inside of the curve. So you're not just throwing, you're keeping. It's kind of like pung in a way. It's a pung type movement, but it is fajin. So we gather, we lift, zip up the middle, and release. Good. Relax down. Now, Yinjin talked about this in his last masterclass, that he said it's quite a unique move because it's just the fajin kind of comes out of nowhere. I kind of see what he's talking about. Excuse me a wee sec. But in another way I don't, because this is yin and this is yang. It makes sense. Often in punching, we relax to center is yin, and then we punch yang. But he's suggesting with this one that you can just, that it can become that much. You're just expressing energy, not particularly winding up. So I suppose you can do it either way. I feel I'm really winding. There's plenty of wind up. And then, but I suppose the actual release, yeah, it seems to come out of nowhere. And unlike the punch that has two directions, this is quite one directional, but of course the back fills to make it balance. So you're not just throwing things forward, you want to fill your back as well. Okay, so let's have a look at that again. Do you want to do it facing each other? I'll show you it not mirrored, but just facing you. So you have done your kick. Let me see. From here, you've done your kick, step down, over the rainbow, turn into the hip, roundhouse, step back, gather, up through the middle, and throw it out. See what I mean? It's curved. It's not just out here somewhere. Good. Okay. So let's try it together. See how we get on. Let's do it from here. We'll leave out the turn and the kick. Ready? Kick. Step. Over the rainbow. Weight left. Turn into the left. Kick. Step back. Roll back. Make fists. Up through. And throw it out. Good. Now, open the hands. Come back. And relax down. Expand. Relax to center. You know this. Good. Recover. And a heel tap. Excellent. Well done. Have a wee drink of water, folks. We've 15 minutes left, which technically is enough time to do the whole form. However, I would rather not rush you. So what would you say till we do the second half of the form? We'll do part 3 and 4. And that just puts it into context. So technically now you've gone over all of the moves, but it takes a while to settle down. Those new moves are very fresh, maybe in your mind, but let's put it into context. So we'll do parts 3 and 4 to finish our class. Okay, cheers. So part 3 begins with, I call it the wafty bit. Part 3 is the lyrical section of the form. It's nice and soft and gentle, lots of fluid flowing movements. So we've already done the kicks. Okay, so let's start from our punch. Ready, and here it is again, yang, and forwards and backwards tricks. So I lovingly call them the wafty bit. And I need more space, so I'm going to take a couple of steps back and You need more space. Over the hill. Kick. Golden cockerel. This is part 4. Can you hold this position for me? Check your posture, relax. Sorry, I need to blow my nose. Good. Always good to check your shishin. All right. And thank you. Prepare and punch. 4 corners. Your last cloud hands. Keep going. 4 open. This is going to take you to high pat on horse. So we're facing the back, but not for long. We're going to relax to center and do our little roll. Gather to the left, push the left heel out, turn to the front. Release. We go over the little hill, under the elbow, top hand, pats, quarter turn, 3-way punch. And prepare to punch. This time we punch diagonally downwards. Good, gather. Uppercut. And single whip. I'm going to give myself more space for wrapping fists. Four down, roll, expand, turn to the front, push the heel out, right hand on top, pierce and sink down, S shape, kick your foot and turn to the front. Weight forwards over the rainbow, into the left hip, kick, step back, gather, make fists, zip up, throw it out, pull it back, and Jinggang. Feeling your good energy, point to the floor, float up. And weight right, close left. Recover, heel, tap. Excellent. Now, excuse me again while I blow my nose. Very, very good. So, there you have it. You have now at least touched on every step of the Lao Jia Yi Lu. Might I add, you've done it pretty well, considering I never would have imagined in a million years that Zoom was actually a good format for teaching Tai Chi, but I think it definitely has its benefits. Apart from anything else, if you record it, you can go back and you can revise and you can look again. And I can revisit all my little stammers and mistakes as well. So, but very, very good. You're doing ever so well. I think we'll leave it for today. Let that sink in. But we've at least touched on everything. Next week, if you're happy to, we'll go through the whole form. And I'm sure there are parts to that we've just covered that you'd want more help with, maybe more explanation, just more practice. So let's for now come into the center and we'll do a nice wee warm down. Taking our time to breathe and relax. Good. Let's come to the legs. Use a cupped hand, cup. So the hollow of your hand, nice and exaggerated, and that makes a very comfortable experience when you pat your body. It sends the energy through the tissues rather than just a sharp slap on the outside. So we go down and up the body again. Excuse me, keep going while I blow my nose. Oh dear, dear, dear. That's another good thing about Zoom. I can't give you the cold from here. Good, over the shoulders. Good, back to center. Lovely. Let's rub our hands together. We're going to lift up and pat downwards. Down the arms. Inside, outside. Every surface. Think of saying thank you to your body and also checking in, making sure that you are letting go of tension. Down, outside, inside, back in front. And brush, brush, brush. Think of like you're covered in dust and it's flying away. Good, keep going. Oh, my nose is really going today. Oh dear. Good. Brush, brush, brush. Lovely. Let's take some breaths. So we're going to float up. And relax down. Breathing in. And out. Sorry, one more time. Breathe in. And relax down. Breathing out. Let's cover center. Hug your elbows in. Listen to your body, please. Letting go of any tension. Guiding your awareness, guiding your breath into your center. Feel your energy is stronger. Well done, everyone. Let's release the arms gently down and we will close. Good, we'll finish there. Thank you so much for joining me today and putting up with my sneezing and nose blowing. You did very, very well. Congratulations on finishing the form. And I look forward to seeing you, excuse me, healthy next time. Thank you.